what's up, guys? So today I'm gonna be doing fast graffiti episodes, and I call it graffiti just for the regular Joe, but they're just alphabet letters that we just turn into bubble lettering. It's nothing more than that. But I just say for the regular Joe, you have graffiti artists, you got a graffiti writer, you have someone putting in work. It is what it is. I never understood the politics of this whole concept of graffiti or whatever they want to call it, like the rules. I don't get none of that. For me, it's just something that we did growing up. When I was growing up, I grew up in Ozone Park, Queens. They call it Warzone Park now, but I lived on the borderline of Brooklyn, Queens. I lived in Brooklyn for a while under Cypress Hills. So I remember coming out of school and then seeing like all those the wild style walls on Jamaica Ave. You have Poem, Cove 2, JEE, Ewok, like all the kings. Seeing everybody will be up on these walls, and I would just sit there with my book and just draw. And then, I go to school and I'll be drawing, and teachers be like, hey, you do like the bubble lettering. That's pretty cool. Can you do banners and stuff? And I would do banners for the school play. I was always artistic, so it's just something that, that was always a part of me. And I was always, drawing other stuff. But throughout the years, me doing the graffiti, being in bike life, BMX, skateboarding, all that stuff. I was always on the street, so I was always meeting people. And then I would meet people that would do graffiti. I would go under, the bridges in Forest Park, going through Brooklyn, meeting other people. And then people will say, yo, he's an artist, he write. And then people want me to do pieces for them. I would help other people out while they was painting, help better their line work. I was always that kind of person. I would do stickers on backpacks, on people's bikes, do graffiti on people's bikes. And it was just a part of me. But throughout the years, I always was questioning, like, man, I want to have my own style. And that's why you see a lot of like that New York City, like Throwie style in my work, because I took that kind of like concept of that style, but I just evolved it into my own, where I took that and I turned it into like a character kind of style. And then from there I further evolved it into like more characterized letters. And at the end of this video, you're going to see I have a free ebook. Check my link in the description. I could show you this process, this technique. Because, when I grew up, I never understood like people doing like pieces or burners or wild style, whatever you want to call them, and then draw SpongeBob and Spider-Man. I'm like, yo, why don't these guys have their own characters? And right now in Brazil and in the UK, you see people like they really have their own style and their own characters. And that comes from the evolution. But this happens in the areas of poverty, so to me, I don't understand like the rules and all this stuff in the graffiti. It's just something that you did growing up as poor, being poor, just something that you did to pass the time. You don't do it because you want to become a famous graffiti artist or writer. You just did it for fun. Like me, I've never made money on my graffiti. To say like I've done art shows and I've done toy design, and that's what I was selling. But to say that the graffiti itself, like people were buying it because I was out on the streets putting in work, it wasn't none of that, guys. And I feel a lot of people, they lose sense with that, and they think because people are doing graffiti and art shows, they're a sellout, when they're not necessarily sellouts. I think it's because a lot of the kings in this game, I think they feel like they're entitled to that kind of fame because they're the ones that created the quote unquote the scene. But at the same time, in order for you to sell art, it's a business, guys. So just because you're a king, that's why you see a lot of these, these kings or whatever in the game, they can't really capitalize off of their name because they don't know how to market themselves. And art is a business, so the art is not going to sell itself. That's why you see quote unquote people that really be out there. They go to art shows all around the world, and they're not even famous. Like, they're not famous on the streets, but they can capitalize for quote unquote throw a banana on a canvas and get $1 million for it because they know how to sell their work. They know how to market it, and they become performers and entertainers. And that is not the graffiti game. I believe graffiti is just something that's on the streets. It's like there's no rules to it. It's something that you did when you was poor, and that's why you see when you go to like Puerto Rico. I'm Puerto Rican. When you go to Puerto Rico, when you go to parts of like San Juan, Mayagüez, Boquerón, you see graffiti all over the place because that's what people do when they got nothing else to do. They're bored and got no video games, no PlayStation, no money, and they just out there, and it's like they see that and then they want to emulate it, and it's like, man, this is something that I could pass the time doing it. But if you want to know how to capitalize off of that and become more successful, you need artistic ability, and I can show you that because I got here. I have friends telling me, hey man, let's go out and paint, hitting me up at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm like, yo, I'm sleeping. I'm trying to go to work tomorrow. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to get fresh. I want to get a nice car. I want to get up out of the hood. So I was never like really, peer pressured into that nonsense. And I could talk about that, on this channel. If you guys want to see more of this, hear about more about this, I can make videos on this, right? And that's the reason why I was able to purchase my second home. I got a family now, and I don't live in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's still a part of me. You could take me out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of me. And that's the reason why I create, my graffiti videos, And if anybody just wants to learn more, understand more about the game and what my opinion is on the politics of the game, I could talk about that and make videos about it. But, I don't want to make this video too long, guys. But thanks for the support. Thanks for watching my videos, liking it, and commenting it. And if you want to see something, let me know. I'll try my best to help out.